How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So in this video, we're going to do something special. We're going to look at 5 keys that massively went up because they got hyped up, FOMO, all that kind of stuff. And let's see how they're doing. And I will tell you they're not doing very well. I think one of them is down by like 92%. And I'll talk about if they're ever going to come back. Are they even starting to come back? Maybe some of them have like inched back a little bit, but some of them continue to drop and will probably continue to drop more to come. But before I get into all that stuff, head over to collectorscomics.com. We have our auction going on. The first day ended yesterday, and today is the last day. It ends today. So go ahead, run over there, throw your bids in if you want anything over there, and if you end up watching the Super Bowl or something like that. So throw your bids in ahead of time, whatever, or snipe it, or whatever you want to do, or just go look at them and tell me what you think of them. But yeah, last day of the auction, collectorscomics.com. I have it every quarter. All right, let's get into these massively dropping keys. And yeah. All right. First, we got Vengeance #1. This is the first appearance from America Chavez. A 9.4 is down 78% from 570 back in 2021 to now selling for 126. A 9.6 is down 79% from 711 to 150, and a 9.8 is down 75% from 2000, now selling for 495. So yeah, this got a hype up because Doctor Strange #2, and everyone thought America Chavez was going to be the next greatest, best. I don't know. I don't know what people thought. I don't know why that book was $2,000 to begin with. And if you look back a long time ago, it was probably around, the $300 mark for a 9.8, which seems about fair for the character that she is. Yeah, but then FOMO set in, hype and stuff, all comic boom, all that stuff brought it to nearly $2,000. I feel like this. I feel like people are smartening up, and we won't see stuff like this. It was a perfect combination of the comic boom and the hype of the movie. And I feel like people are wising up and they realize that these books, will go sky high and straight down. I hope at least watching this channel and other channels like mine that you'll learn, hey, this is what happens. Maybe I'm just being too optimistic because there was that Ultimate Fallout 4 acetate cover that was selling for a bunch of money and now it's dropped off, and that wasn't that long ago. So maybe not. And I know like there's some Eminem SpiderMan cover that's selling for a bunch right now, and I'm sure that'll drop down as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm being hopeful. I'm hopeful. Maybe you guys out there, this is a very small select people that are into comic books watching this channel. So maybe just the people watching are the ones. So I expect this book to continue to drop. That is what I suspect. Now I can't guarantee anything. I don't know what's going to go on, but I think this will drop just a little bit more. I think it'll go back down to where it was before, around the $300, $350 range for a 9.8. All right, next we got a Star Wars #2. I got a 9.4 down 70% from 800 to 235, a 9.6 down 67% from 1300 to 420, and a 9.8 only down 11% from 4,500 to $4,000. So I noticed at the tail end of most of these grades that they kind of level off. Maybe some went a little bit up. So we might be reaching the bottom for this book. It is a Star Wars 2, so it has that going for it. It just got hyped up because the Obi-Wan show was coming out, and this was the book that got hyped up with it because, I don't know, just did. So this got hyped up a bunch, and it's just been falling. Also got the kind of nostalgia, comic boom stuff going on for it, that going against it. But I think overall, it's crazy. If the peak of this book was 4,500 back in 2021. And, if this dropped like the other books, even other grades on here by like 70%, you'd see this in like, the high hundreds range. And it's not. It's at 4,000 for a 9.8. There's probably not that many 9.8s out there. So we're going down 11%, that's nothing. That's nothing. So now, does that say that like a 9.6 is eventually going to reach 1,300 again at one point? I don't know. Like, well, I think at one point, but not for a very, very long time. Not anytime soon, at least. Or a 9.4 going back to $800. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tall order, and it will be a very, very long time. But it is Star Wars, so I don't think a lot of people don't understand. It's like, it's not every book that just goes up forever. It's not like I'm just going to buy a bunch of books and 10, 20 years from now, they're going to be worth more than I paid. That's not how it works. There's some books that will forever be cheap, forever. They'll be cover price or less. Just look at the 90s. Look how many books from there are not worth anything. And then your people will say, well, the 90s, it had overprinting. That's not like it is. Okay, go to the 80s. A bunch of books, not worth anything. Go to the 70s. A bunch of books, not worth anything. Go to the 60s. A bunch of books, not worth anything. So yeah, it all go down. So yeah, it just doesn't mean just because certain books go up there's a reason why they go up. All right, next we got everyone's favorite comic book in the whole entire world, Eternals #1. A 9.4 is down 92%. Basically, it's free. Went from $809. Wow. Sometimes I'm looking at, I do these and then I forget the number and then I look at it. It's almost like looking at it the first time. $809 down to $62. A 9.6 down 90% from 1625 to 165, and a 9.8 is down 83% from 3800 to 660, with no end in sight. This is back down. If I look at this graph, this is down around before 2017 numbers, around 2017 numbers to be exact. That's where that is. Now, it looks like the drop is getting less drastic and it's slowing down. I mean, it has to at some point. Wow. Good Lord. My. So, yeah, I mean, 92%. How much further can it go? Can it really go 8% down? So, and then it'll be nothing. It's almost, the 9.4 is almost like case cost. And what case cost is what it costs to send the book away, to get it graded, shipping there, shipping back, insurance, all that kind of stuff. You're into it for this book would probably be modern, unless you sped it up, which I don't know why you would. Fast track, I think it's called. You're into it like $40, $50. So it's almost down there for a 9.4. Oh yeah. I mean, I remember. Yeah, I mean this book is not gonna. It's the Eternals. Someone paid $3,800 for it. It will never reach there. I can guarantee the only way it could go up back to 9.8 for $3,800. This is what will have to happen. They'll have to somehow come out with the Eternals 2. Why? I don't know. I don't think they're going to. There's no reason to. The movie is garbage. All right, Eternals 2 has to be the greatest MCU movie ever. So they do like $2-3 billion in the box office. Then they come out with Eternals 3, and that does gangbusters. And then Eternals 4, 5, all that kind of stuff. It rivals the Avengers pretty much. And then each of those characters kind of spin off and have their own unique character movie of their own, TV shows, movies, cartoons, toys, all that kind of stuff. And then after a couple decades of doing just amazing and building up all this hype for this Eternals, then that book might reach back to that level. Most likely not. But, so if I was a betting man, I would say this will never reach 3,800 again in most of our lifetimes or ever. So, yeah. All right, next we got Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. 9.4 is down 77% from 600 to 140. 9.6 is down 79% from 800 to 165. And the 9.8 is down 76% from 1620 to $391. So if you notice the graph, it looks like it's going up a little bit. So could this be the bottom? I mean, if we compare it to, we're looking at like 2018 numbers for this one, where it's back down. I mean, this got hyped up because Venom 2 had Carnage in it. I think Carnage was cool, but I think the movie was just not very good. I think it could have been better, personally. But yeah, so I still think Carnage is a good character. he has a long history of showing up in comic books, obviously movies, cartoons, all that kind of stuff. So he's a very popular character. So if anyone is going to have a comeback, this would be the one out of all of them. The rest of them, no. This one, so I'm not too worried. Now, if you had to ask me, will will I ever get up to 1600? I would say, yeah, eventually this book will. This book and character have staying power. These are the ones that people want to collect and want, um, because it's all over the place and it's part of Spider-Man mythos. So when that 1600 it'll go back to, I don't know, it'll be a while, but um, yeah, I'm not worried about this book long term. So it's just going to be a while. It's going to be a while because it got knocked up really high. So yeah, but I don't know. I'm hopeful. All right, last one on this list is Bloodstone #1. A 9.4 is down 70% from 500 to 150. A 9.6 is down 55% from 530 to 235. And a 9.8 is down 58% from a little over 1,000, now selling for 427. This one's the least on the list, least as in lowest dropping, but that's because this was the latest show that came out. It was like that one-off Halloween special or something like that, and so it got hyped later. But yes, this will continue to drop as well. So if you have it, it will continue to drop. Looks like it's got to be around the 250 range for to hit around its pre-hype numbers. So expect somewhere around there. That's where it's going to go. So basically, this is the book's going along, slowly going up over time, and then it's like, oh no, we announced some movie or TV show. Oh, it's a TV show, sucks, or it's over, or no one really cares. Just straight up, straight down. So it'll go back to where it was before, pretty much, and then it'll go along this line of slowly going up over time. So yeah, if you paid $1,000 for it, I don't know, it'd be a long time. I don't like if you were 30 years old and you bought the book for $1,000 as a 9.8. By the time you're 80 and you're ready to retire and sell all your comic books, I don't think it'd be $1,000. That's just my perspective. I really don't know. I don't think they're going to do anything with this character in general going in the future. And who cares if this character shows up in some TV show or some movie again? I mean, we've seen this before. What was the book I was recently looking at? Now I can't remember it off the top of my head. But, or for example, Ant-Man books. Obviously got hyped up, and then they drop, and then the new movie's coming out. I mean, they're selling well, but they're not like back up to gangbusters again. So, yeah, unless you got some Tales of the Astonished 27s, or maybe even 35, or 44. It's first Wasp, first superhero Ant-Man, first Ant-Man. Ant-Man originally appeared as just a horror one-off, small story, like 8 pages, half of the book or a third of the book, and one-off. And then that's when superheroes started becoming popular again, because there was a point when superheroes were not popular and they pretty much got rid of all superheroes. You can check out my latest video on top 10 1960 comic books for investment to learn a little more about that kind of stuff. Anyways, have a good weekend.